Okay, so we are going to start with the data compression again. The next lecture and the topic regarding this data compression is we are going to study certain mathematical preliminaries which are needed for lossless compression, right? So what are basically first thing, what are the mathematical preliminaries which are needed for lossless compression? They are, you must be aware about the information theory and coding. In this, we studied two things. One is called as the self-information and second one is the entropy. So this particular lecture will be comprising of the complete knowledge regarding the self-information, what is self-information and how do we calculate it, and the entropy, how do we calculate entropy and what actually the entropy is, right? So starting up with the self-information. When we say self-information, so first of all, the particular person, that is Shannon, was the person who defined a quantity that is called as the self-information. So in any particular event, suppose we have an event A, in this there is a set of outcomes of certain random experiment which will give you certain information, and that particular is called as self-information. That means suppose we have an event A which is set of outcomes of some random experiment. We will see it with the help of example that will make you more clear regarding the self-information. Now, in this particular, we have self-information formula which states as IA is the one that denotes the self-information, right? This is the denotion of self-information. I is representing self-information of A. Of A means A is the event about which we are talking about which we are going to give the information. So self-information about A. This is how we represent the self-information. This is equal to log base B and this is equal to minus log base B PA, where we all know log base B is logarithmic function and PA is what? PA is the probability of the event A to occur, right? Probability is PA is the probability of the event A to occur. This is going to represent minus log base B. PA is going to represent the self-information about the event A, right? So let's see how it does. This is the equation we have seen. And in this, I just told you what the equation components are. That is, P is the probability of occurrence of event A because we are writing PA, right? B is base. Now, one more thing here, generally we use base 2 in most of the information theory questions, right? Here we are using base B. This base B can be equal to 2. It can be equal to 3. It can be equal to 10 or it can be equal to E. We all know this. But here the unit of information is depending on base B. When I say what is the unit of self-information, that will be depending on B. And how it will depend on B? We are going to see whether B is equal to 2. If B is equal to 2, then the unit will be bits. The unit of self-information will be equal to bits. If the value of B is equal to 3, then the unit of self-information will be equal to Fritz. If it is equal to 10, then it is Hartley's. And if it is equal to E, that means log base E, then the unit of self-information will be equal to NATS. So generally 2 marks questions comes in which you can define what is the unit of self-information if base is equal to either 10 or 3 or whatever, right? So this is how we define self-information and this is how we give the unit of the self-information. Now, here we are going to say, as you can see in this particular equation, IA is minus log base BPA. That means it is inversely proportional to the probability of occurrence, right? That means the self-information is inversely proportional to the probability of occurrence of an event A. So we can say that if the probability of an event is low, then the amount of self-information associated with it is high. So if the probability is low, then the self-information will be high associated to event A we are talking about, right? Similarly, if the probability of an event is high, then the information associated with it is low. So it is inversely proportional to the probability of occurrence of a particular event. Now we have just taken an example. Let's say the barking of a dog during a burglary is high probability event, right? If there is burglary taking place, the probability of a dog to bark is high. That means not much information is contained in this particular event. Okay, but if dog do not bark during the burglary, right, then this probability event has a lot of information, right? If the probability of barking the dog is low during the burglary, then it contains a lot of information, else not. So this is how the self-information is defined. One more thing, that is, how do we define the self-information about two independent events? The information obtained from the occurrence of two independent events is the sum of information obtained from the occurrence of individual events, right? Suppose A and B are two independent events, then we can write what? We can write AB, that is the self-information, is equal to log base B IAB, right? And here A and B are what? A and B are independent events. So probability of AB is equal to PA dot PB, that means probability of event A, probability of event B, and IAB will be equal to log base B IAB. And this will be equal to IAB is equal to IA plus IB, because we are stating what? The information about the occurrence of two independent events is the sum of information obtained from the occurrence of individual events. So the two individual events are A and B, and we give the sum, and this will give you the information of occurrence of two independent events. So this is important, right? This is how you define the self-information about the two independent events. Now, how do we calculate this self-information? Let's take an example. First example we are taking, let's say we are calculating information for a tossing of coin. We all know there are two phases of coin, right? And what are these two phases? One is head and other one is tail. So if the probability is calculated for tossing a coin, so the fair result will be, there is probability, half probability is we get head, that is 0.5, and half probability is we get tail. This is a fair tossing of coin. Now, if you get either head or tail, you will get one bit of information. How do we get one bit of information? We get, if it is I head is equal to, the formula is self-information for an event to occur is equal to minus log base B PA. So what is PA? Regarding the event of head occurring, what is the probability? The probability is 0.5. So here we calculate minus log base B 0.5 is equal to, that will be equal to 1 bit. And similarly for the tail, right? So this is how we calculate the self-information. Let's take one more example, and that will make you clear regarding the same. Let's say we have a basket. In this particular basket or in this particular bin, we have balls, right? And we need to choose the ball. How we are going to choose? Let's see. There are three color balls. One is green, right? One is green. You can see how many balls are there. There are two balls. Then we have red balls. How many red balls are there? There are 4 balls. You can count this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And sorry, green, we have 3 balls. We have 3 balls in green color. And lastly, we have yellow, and we have 2 yellow color balls in this bin. So what is the probability? What is the self-information regarding this? We all know how do we calculate the probability of occurrence of green. It will be probability of occurring of green, that is 3 divided by total number of occurrences. That means how many balls are there? There are 3 plus 4 plus 2, that is equal to 9, right? That is equal to 9. So we have written 9 here. The probability for occurrence of green ball, let's say, that will be equal to what? That will be equal to 3 divided by 9. This is the probability of G. So how do we calculate the self-information of green ball? It will be equal to minus log PG, minus log this particular value PG, because this is the probability of occurrence of green ball. So minus log 3 by 9, and that is equal to 1.58 bits. Okay. Similarly, we are going to find the self-information regarding yellow ball. The probability will be 2 by 9, because there are 2 balls of yellow color and total are of 9. So log base B 2 divided by 9, that gives you 2.1699 bits. Then we have I red ball, that is self-information for red ball, that will be equal to minus log, and the probability of occurrence of red ball, that is equal to 4 by 9 is equal to 1.1699 bits. Why we have given the unit bits? Because we are going to consider the base as 2. Okay, so this is what we have defined as the self-information. Now, the second thing that is important is entropy. What is entropy? In entropy, how do we define entropy? Actually, the entropy is the average expected amount of information from the event, right? This is the average amount of information we can get from the event. So how do we define? The formula for entropy is equal to minus summation I is equal to 1 to n pi log b base p pi, where we all know pi is what? The probability, and n is the number of different outcomes. If there are 3 outcomes, then it will be the summation will be from I is equal to 1 to 3. So let's see and understand it with the help of an example. Taking the same example, what we are going to consider? We are going to consider that we have the same bin and we have these particular number of balls in this. Now, if you remember, we already have seen what we have seen. We have seen that we have 3 color balls in this. What are the 3 colors? One is green is equal to 3, yellow is equal to 2, and red is equal to 4. Total, these are 9. Okay, total it is 9. So how do we calculate it? We have already seen that the equation for entropy is this. Now we have how many? We have n number of outcomes, and where n is equal to what? N is equal to 3. Why 3? Because one is for green ball, one is for yellow ball, and the third one is for red ball. So we have seen here as I is equal to 1 to 3, where n is equal to 3 we have stated. Right? Now let's see how it goes. It is, we are going to calculate the entropy of the event, right? Now, what is the average information regarding all the 3 events? We are going to calculate the same. It will be, see, PI is what? Probability of occurrence, right? Of event. Let's say this is for, let's say, green balls. So this is probability for green ball to occur, and this is log 4 by 9. Okay, plus, so this is PI and log base PI. So this is PI, log base PI, and this is I for, let's say, G. we can say PG. Next plus, because this was going to have the summation till 3 events. Next one is for yellow balls. So PY I can say. So PY, that is P2. 2 by 9 because there are 2 yellow balls. Then we have log 2 by 9. That is again log base PI. Plus the third one is the red ball. So this one is for red ball. Red is 3 balls divided by 9 log base R. Right. So this is how we are going to calculate the entropy, and this is going to give you the average information within the events occurring of finding out the 3 balls. So therefore you are expected to get 1.5304755 information each time you choose a ball from the bin. So this is how the entropy is calculated for specific events, sequence of events. So let's say if there are 10 balls, 10 color balls. So the n will be equal to, I is equal to 1 to 10, because this is calculating the average. So that is why we calculate the average in the entropy. So this is how we find the entropy. These are very important terms, that is self-information and entropy. So that's all for this particular lecture. Thank you very much.